A Civil Rights Civil Liberties Guide. Chapter 1. Civil Rights. Civil rights definition. Civil rights are basic, inalienable that any person automatically has by being alive, but many countries deny their citizens their civil liberties. Civil rights are supposedly granted to all persons in America via the Constitution, Bill of Rights and other state and federal laws. Civil rights websites. 1. Amnesty.org, Amnesty International. Cato Institute, Civil Liberties. cato.org/research/law-civil-liberties. Center for Constitutional Rights. article.org. commondreams.org. Foundation for Individual Rights in Education, FIRE. thefire.org. Human Rights Watch. hrw.org. Jewish Council for Public Affairs. jewishpublicaffairs.org. Jurist, the Legal Education Network. jurist.law.pitt.edu. Pluralism Project. pluralism.org. Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press. rcfp.org. Statement of U.S. Senator Russ Feingold on the Anti-Terrorism Bill. epic.org/privacy/terrorism/USA Patriot/Feingold.html. Text of the Patriot Act, H.R. 3162. frwebgate.access.gpo.gov/cgi-bin/get.dot/cgi?107_kong_bil. ls and docid equals fh3162enr.text.pdf. The Village Voice. villagevoice.com. U.S. Commission on Civil Rights. usccr.gov. U.S. Department of Justice. usdoj.gov. Civil rights websites. 2. aclu.org/international/internationalmain.cfm, International Civil Liberties Report. aclu.org, American Civil Liberties Union. aclu.org/library. aclu.org, American Civil Liberties Union. aclu.org, ACLU's page. acluga.org, ACLU of Georgia. aclutx.org, ACLU of Texas. acri.org, American Civil Rights Institute. action.com, Civil Rights. action.org, Action Coalition. actionbioscience.org/genomic/barino.html, does genetic research threaten our civil liberties? adc.org, American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee. adl.org, Anti-Defamation League. adl.org/education/civil_liberties. afj.org, Alliance for Justice. azakon.com/oljay/libofccp.htm, Civil Rights Law Library. bcclaw.org, British Columbia Civil Liberties Association. ccla.org, Canadian Civil Liberties Association. efn.org/ciscap. bcri.bham.al.us, Civil Rights Institute. boardc.org/involved/resources-defending.php, resources for defending civil liberties. cdps.cs.unh.edu. citizen.org. citizens4change.org. citizenworker.org. civil-law.justinswer.com. civilrights.org, the Civil Rights page. civilrights.org, civilrights.org, the civil rights movement continues. civilrights.org. clarewolf.com. constitution.org. cpsr.org/issues/privacy, civil liberties and privacy. derechos.org, human rights. digital.library.upenn.edu/books/banned-books.html, banned books online. digitalfreedoms.org, Digital Freedom Network. docuticker.com/?p=19621, Constitutional Limits on Hate Crime Legislation PDF, 73 KB. doingfreedom.com. equinix.apc.org/ally, Agencia Latinoamerica de Información. ed.gov/offices/OCR, 877-521-2172, U.S. Department of Education, Office of Civil Rights. eeoc.gov, 800-669-4000, Publications. employmentlawgroup.net/cm/discrimination laws/discrimination-laws4.asp, Washington, D.C. Civil Rights Attorney. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/civil_liberties. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/legal_rights-democracy-defined.org. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/japan_civil_liberties_union. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/civil_liberties_act_of_1988. epic.org, Electronic Privacy Information Center. epic.org, Electronic Privacy Information Center. faa.gov/acr/ocr/mwecg/mwecg menu.cfm, Federal Aviation Agency Office of Civil Rights, the Equal Employment Opportunity. fbi.gov/foia, FBI Freedom of Information Act Electronic Reading Room. fcnl.org/issue/issue.php?issue_id=67, Restoring Civil Liberties Resources, the Friends Committee on National Legislation. Civil Rights Websites 3. Fear.org, Forfeiture Endangers American Rights. epic.org/fcg, Fund for Constitutional Government. freedomforum.org. hcr.org, Human and Civil Rights Organizations America. HOLLYWOOD10.com, Hollywood 10. ifas.org, Institute for First Amendment Studies. indexoncensorship.org, Index on Censorship. informatic.tu-muen.de/local/proj/ca/ca_eng.html, Munchen, Institute for Informatic. interights.org, International Human Rights Law Database. it.ojp.gov, Privacy and Civil Liberties Resources, Department of Homeland Security. k12.wa.us/curriculuminstruct/soc studies/civil liberties/media resources.aspx. law.utoronto.ca/diana/sites.htm, international. lawandfreedom.com. libertynet.org/yamerica, Young America. libertynet.org. lwvarwc.org/civil liberties.htm, Civil Liberties Resources League of Women Voters of Washington County. lwvwi.org/cms/index.php, League of Women Voters of Wisconsin, Inc., Civil Liberties Resources. mecca.org/%7ec rights, the National Civil Rights Museum. memory.loc.gov/mm/collections/Ansel Adams, Ansel Adams's photographs of Japanese American internment at Manzanar. nacdl.org, Criminal Defense. ncrlc.com/civil-liberties.html, resources regarding civil liberties. NPR, Liberty vs. Security. npr.org/programs/specials/liberties/011205.index.html. nps.gov/malu, Martin Luther King National Historical Site, Atlanta. nul.org, Civil Rights, National Urban League. olic4lib.blogspot.com, Olympia Civil Liberties Resource. openetinitiative.org, OpenNet Initiative. OpenNet Initiative is concerned with how Internet access is monitored. Civil Rights Websites 4. pbs.org/wgbh/amex/Goldman, Emma Goldman. pbs.org/Harry Moore, one of the forerunners of the civil rights movement in America. pbs.org/now/classroom/civil-liberties.html. pfaw.org, People for the American Way. case.cioe.com/sos, save our Sri Lanka strath.ac.uk/departments/law/student/sccl/sclt.html, Scottish Council for Civil Liberties, southeasternlegal.org, Southeastern Legal Foundation. poli-sci.utah.edu. sahudhouse.com/mission.hdm, Committee Against Corruption in Saudi Arabia. SaveTibet.org, International Campaign for Tibet. sonoma.edu/ccjs/info/kenem.html, Ken Marcus Position Paper. sonoma.edu/ccjs/info/kenem.html, sonomacojacl.org, Sonoma County Japanese American Citizens League. stanford.edu/group/King, Martin Luther King Papers Project at Stanford University. The iacp.org/research/protecting-citizens.html, Protecting Citizens Civil Rights Project. thehackingcenter.com/mlk/index.html, The King Center. theta.com/trfn, Task Force for Responsibility and Freedom on the Internet. tibet.org/index.html, Tibet Online Resource Gathering. tradenet.it/links/arzocu/civilrights.html, Directory of Civil Rights. ucs.louisiana.edu/tilde-ras2777/civlib/korematsu.html. umn.edu/humanrts, Human Rights Library. un.org/overview/rights. usdoj.gov/crt/indian/brock.html, Protecting the Civil Rights of American Indians and Alaska Natives. usdoj.gov/crt/ada/om1.htm, U.S. Department of Justice, Civil Rights Office, Disability Rights. usdoj.gov/pclo, Office of Privacy and Civil Liberties. usdoj.gov/crt, Civil Rights Division. usdoj.gov/crt/split/find-settle.htm. uuc.org/resources/472, Civil Liberties Resources, Unitarian Universalist Service Committee. viscom.ohio.edu/oldzeit/more.site, Powerful Days, The Civil Rights Photography of Charles Moore. voicesofcivilrights.org, Voices of Civil Rights. vtw.org, Voters Telecommunications Watch. uow.edu.au/arts/sts/bmartin/dissent/contacts/au.wba, Whistleblowers Australia. whistleblowers.org, National Whistleblower Center. wiki.answers.com/q/how_long_to_file_civil_rights_violation_lawsuit. wsulibs.ws/holland/mossc/x civilrights.html, Civil Rights Oral History Interviews, Spokane, Washington. youhaverights.com. Civil Rights Organizations. American Civil Liberties Union. 125 Broad St. 18th FL. New York, New York 10004. 212-944-9800. 212-549-2646. Fax, 212-549-2646. aclu.org. Bill of Rights Day Committee. POG 270205. Hartford, Wisconsin 53027. 262-670-9920. Fax, 262-670-9921. BOR@yourfreedoms.org. yourfreedoms.org. Center for Individual Rights. 1233 20th Street NW. Number 300. Washington, D.C. 20036. 202, 833-8400. Fax, 202, 833-8410. CIR@mail.wdn.com. CIR-USA.org. Fights for People's Rights. Civil Rights Discrimination. Department of Health and Human Services. Washington, D.C. 20201. 202-619-0403. 800-368-1019. 800-537-7697. dhhs.gov. Civil Rights Hotline. 330 Independence Avenue, SW. Number 5514, North Building. Washington, D.C. 20201. 800-368-1019. Will help with information and any discrimination beefs except for sex discrimination. Commission on Civil Rights. 624 9th Street, NW. Washington, D.C. 20425. 800-552-6843. 202-376-8513, Complaint Referral in D.C. 202-376-8116, TDD. 202-376-8128, Publications. 202-376-8312, Public Affairs. usccr.gov. Look in your telephone directory under U.S. Government, Civil Rights Commission. Commission on Human Rights. UN. Human Rights Committee. UN. Center for Human Rights. United Nations Office in Geneva. Palais des Nations. CH 1211 Geneva 10. Switzerland. 41, 22, 917, 1234. Fax, 41, 22, 917, 0123. UN.org. Department of Agriculture. Office of Civil Rights. 1400 Independence Avenue, SW. MS 9410. Washington, D.C. 20250. 202-720-5964. USDA.gov/CR. Department of Education. Office of Civil Rights. 330C St. SW. Washington, D.C. 20202. ed.gov. Human Rights Campaign. 1101 14th St. Northwest Suite 200. Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-628-4166. hrcusa.org. Individual Rights Foundation. POB 361269. Los Angeles, California 90036-9828. 800-752-6562. csbc.org/irf. Public interest law firm that takes cases where free speech, First Amendment rights, has been violated. Inter-American Human Rights Commission. Organization of American States. 1889 F Street, NW. 8th floor. Washington, D.C.200006. 202-458-6002. Fax, 202-458-3992. Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights. Under Law. 1400 G St. NW. Number 400. Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-371-1212. 202-662-8600. Help for Poor Folk in Civil Rights Cases. Mexican American Legal Defense Fund. 182 2nd St. SF California 94105. 415-543-5598. National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. 1397 Fulton St. Brooklyn, New York 11217. 718-789-3043. NAACP.org. National Urban League. 1111 14th St. Northwest. Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-898-1604. NUL.org. Native American Rights Fund. 1506 Broadway. Boulder, Colorado 80302. 303-447-8760. Office of Civil Rights. U.S. Department of Education. 400 Maryland Avenue. SW. Washington, D.C. 20202-4135. ed.gov. Information about Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act and the IDEA, Individuals with Disabilities Act. Southern Poverty Law Center. 400 Washington Avenue. Montgomery, Alabama 36104. 205-264-0286. TeachingTolerance.org. Chapter 2. State Civil Rights Offices. Alabama. Attorney General's Office. 334-242-7300. ago.state.aliis. Alaska. Alaska State Commission for Human Rights. 907-274-4692. TTY/TDD. 907-276-3177. governmentstate.ak.us/ashar/ashar.hdm. Arizona. Arizona Attorney General, Civil Rights. 602-542-5263. ag.state.az.us. Arkansas. Office of the Attorney General, Civil Rights. 501-682-2007. ag.state.ar.us. California. Fair Employment and Housing. 916-445-5523. 800-884-1684. dfa.ca.gov. Colorado. Colorado Civil Rights Division. 303-894-2997. 800-262-4845. dora.state.co.us/civil-rights. Connecticut. Commission on Human Rights and Opportunity. 860-541-3400. 800-477-5737. state.ct.us/chro. Delaware. Office of Labor Law Enforcement. 302-761-8200. delawareworks.com/division/industaffairs/law.enforcement.hdm. District of Columbia. Human Rights. 202-727-4559. ohr.washingtondc.gov. Florida. Florida Commission on Human Relations. 850-488-7082. fchr.state.f1.us. Georgia. Human Relations Commission. 404-206-6320. georgia.gov. Hawaii. Civil Rights Commission. 808-586-8636. hawaii.gov/labor/hcre. Idaho. Idaho Human Rights Commission. 208-334-2873. state.id@/irhc/ibrachom.hdm. Illinois. Illinois Department of Human Rights. 312-814-6200. state.il.us/dhr. Indiana. Indiana Civil Rights Commission. 317-232-2600. state.in.us/icrc. Iowa. Iowa Civil Rights. 515-281-4121. state.ia.us/government/crc. Kansas. Kansas Human Rights Commission. 785-296-3206. KHRC.net. Kentucky. Kentucky Commission on Human Rights. 502-595-4024. state.ky.us/agencies2/kchr. Louisiana. Human Rights, Governor's Office. 225-342-6969. governmentstate.lauis/deps/lchr.htmn. Maine. Maine Human Rights Commission. 207-624-6050. state.me.us/mhrc/index.shtml. Maryland. Maryland Commission on Human Relations. 410-767-8600. mchr.state.md.us. Massachusetts. Massachusetts Commission Against Discrimination. 617-994-6000. mass.gov/mcad. Michigan. Michigan Department of Civil Rights. 313-456-3700. michigan.gov/mdcr. Minnesota. Minnesota Department of Human Rights. 651-296-5663. humanrights.state.mn.us. Mississippi. Mississippi Attorney General's Office. 601-359-3680. ago.state.ms.us. Missouri. Missouri Commission on Human Rights. 573-751-3325. dolir.mo.gov/hr. Montana. Montana Human Rights Bureau. 406-444-2884. erd.dli.mt.gov/humanrights/hrome.asp. Nebraska. Nebraska Equal Opportunity Commission. 402-471-2024. neoc.ne.gov. Nevada. Nevada Equal Rights Commission. 702-486-7161. detar.state.nv.us/nc_index.htm. New Hampshire. Human Rights. 603-271-2767. nh.gov/hrc. New Jersey. New Jersey Civil Rights. 609-292-4605. state.nj.us/lps/dcr. New Mexico. Human Rights/Labor. 505-827-6838. dol.state.nm.us/dole_hrd.html. New York. Human Rights. 718-741-8400. NISDHR.com. North Carolina. North Carolina Civil Rights Division. 919-733-0431. oah.state.nc.us/civil. North Dakota. Department of Labor. 701-328-2660. state.nd.us/labor/services/human-rights. Ohio. Ohio Civil Rights Commission. 614-466-2785. state.oh.us/crc. Oklahoma. Oklahoma Human Rights Commission. 405-521-2:360. Oregon. Oregon Bureau of Labor and Industries, Civil Rights Division. 503-731-4200, ext1. bully.state.or.us. Pennsylvania. Human Relations Commission. 717-787-9784. state.pagms/pa_exec/phrc. Rhode Island. Rhode Island Commission for Human Rights. 401-222-2661. rechar.ri.gov. South Carolina. South Carolina Human Affairs Commission. 803-737-7800. state.sc.us/schuk. South Dakota. Department of Commerce, Division of Human Rights. 605-773-4493. state.sd.us/dcr/hr/hom.hdm. Tennessee. Tennessee Human Rights Commission. 615-741-5825. state.tn.us/human rights. Texas. Texas Commission on Human Rights. 512-437-3450. twc.state.tx.us/customers/jsemp/jsemp-subcrd.html. Utah. Utah Anti-Discrimination in Labor. 801-530-6801. labor.state.ut.us. Vermont. Vermont Human Rights Commission. 800-416-2010. 800-828-2481. hrc.state.vt.us. Virginia. Human Rights. 804-225-2292. chr.6bnet.org. Washington. Human Rights Commission. 360-753-6770. wa.gov/hrc. West Virginia. Human Rights Commission. 304-558-2616. state.wv.us/wvhrc. Wisconsin. Equal Rights, Civil Rights Bureau. 608-266-6860. dwd.state.wi.us/er/equal_rights_division/default.htm. Wyoming. Employment, Labor Standards Office. 307-777-7261. www.state.wy.us/doe.asp?ID=3. Chapter 3. The American Civil Liberties Union. Some local ACLU addresses and websites. American Civil Liberties Union of Utah. 355 North 300 W, Number 1. Salt Lake City, Utah 84103. 801-521-9862. ACLU@acluutah.org. acluutah.org. Facebook.com/aclu.utah. Twitter.com/acluutah. American Civil Liberties Union. 901 5th Avenue No. 630. Seattle, Washington 98164. 206-624-2184. aclu-wa.org. Facebook.com/acluwa. Twitter.com/aclu_wa. American Civil Liberties Union of North Dakota. POG 1190. Fargo, North Dakota 57101. 701-478-9924. North Dakota at aclu.org. aclund.org. Facebook.com/ndaclu. Twitter.com/aclu North Dakota. American Civil Liberties Union. POG 2242. Jackson, Mississippi 39225. 601-354-3408. Office at aclu-ms.org. aclu-ms.org. Twitter.com/aclu_ms. Facebook.com/aclu Mississippi. American Civil Liberties Union of Idaho. POG 1897. Boise, Idaho 83701. 208-344-2 9750. Admin at acluidaho.org. acluidaho.org. Facebook.com/acluidaho. Twitter.com/acluidaho. Handles civil liberty cases. American Civil Liberties Union, Northern California. 39 Drum Street, San Francisco, California 94111. 415-621-2493. 415-621-2488. aclunc.org. Facebook.com/aclu.norcal. Twitter.com/aclu_norcal. American Civil Liberties Union of Minnesota. epub 14720. Minneapolis, Minnesota 55414. 651-645-4097. Support at aclu-mn.org. aclu-mn.org. Facebook.com/aclumn. Twitter.com/aclumn. American Civil Liberties Union. epub 56157. New Orleans, Louisiana 70156. 504-522-0617. 866-522-0617. lawaclu.org. Facebook.com/aclu.louisiana. Twitter.com/aclu of Louisiana. Protects the basic civil liberties of all Americans. American Civil Liberties Union of South Dakota. epub 1170. Sioux Falls, South Dakota 57101. 605-332-2508. South Dakota at aclu.org. aclusd.org. Facebook.com/aclusd. Twitter.com/aclusd. American Civil Liberties Union of Nevada. Northern Office. 1325 Air Motiveway No. 202. Reno, Nevada 89502. 702-366-1226. Info at aclunv.org. aclunv.org. Facebook.com/aclunv. Twitter.com/aclunv. Litigates civil rights violations. American Civil Liberties Union, New Mexico. epub 566. Albuquerque, New Mexico 87103. 505-266-5915. Info at aclu-nm.org. aclu-nm.org. Facebook.com/aclunm. Twitter.com/aclunm. Constitutional Issues Investigation and Litigation. Discrimination Immigration. American Civil Liberties Union of Arizona. epub 17148. Phoenix, Arizona 85011. 602-650-1854. Info at acluaz.org. acluaz.org. Twitter.com/acluaz. Facebook.com/aclu of Arizona. American Civil Liberties Union. 904W. 2nd Street. Little Rock, Arkansas 72201. 501-374-2660. acluarkansas.org. Facebook.com/acluarkansas. Twitter.com/ArkansasACLU. Litigates civil liberty cases. American Civil Liberties Union of Nebraska. 134S. 13th Street, number 1010. Lincoln, Nebraska 68508. 402-476-8135. 855-557-2258. Get help at aclunebraska.org. aclunebraska.org. Facebook.com/aclunebraska. Twitter.com/acluofne. American Civil Liberties Union, Oregon. POB 40585. Portland, Oregon 97240. 503-227-3186. 888-527-2258. info@aclu-or.org. aclu-or.org. Facebook.com/ACLU of Oregon. Twitter.com/ACLU_or. American Civil Liberties Union, Southern Nevada. 601S. Rancho Drive, number B11. Las Vegas, Nevada 89106. 702-366-1226. ACLUNV@aclunv.org. aclunv.org. Facebook.com/ACLUNV. Twitter.com/ACLUNV. Engages in public education and litigates civil rights violations. American Civil Liberties Union, Wyoming. POB 20706. Cheyenne, Wyoming 82003. 307-637-4565. ACLUWY@aclu.org. aclu-wy.org. Facebook.com/ACLUWU. Twitter.com/ACLUWU. American Civil Liberties Union, Oregon. POB 40585. Portland, Oregon 97240. 503-227-3186. S. Armstrong@aclu-or.org. aclu-or.org. Facebook.com/ACLU of Oregon. Twitter.com/ACLU_or. American Civil Liberties Union of Kansas. POB 917. Mission, Kansas 66201. 913-490-4100. info@aclukansas.org. aclukansas.org. Facebook.com/ACLUkansas. Twitter.com/ACLUkansas. American Civil Liberties Union. POB 1626. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73102. 405-524-8511. ACLUOK@acluok.org. acluok.org. Facebook.com/ACLUOK. Twitter.com/ACLUOK. Litigates civil liberties cases. American Civil Liberties Union, Tennessee. POB 120160. Nashville, Tennessee 37212. 615-320-7142. Intake@aclu-tn.org. aclu-tn.org. Twitter.com/ACLUTN. Facebook.com/ACLUTN. American Civil Liberties Union, San Diego. POB 87131. San Diego, California 92138. 619-232-2121. info@aclusandiego.org. aclusandiego.org. Twitter.com/SDACLU. Facebook.com/SDACLU. American Civil Liberties Union, Southern California. 1313 W. 8th Street. Los Angeles, California 90017. 213-977-9500. aclusocal.org. Facebook.com/aclu.socal. Twitter.com/aclu_socal. American Civil Liberties Union of Montana. POB 1968. Missoula, Montana 59806. 406-443-8590. ACLU@aclumontana.org. aclumontana.org. Facebook.com/ACLUmontana. Twitter.com/ACLUMT. American Civil Liberties Union of Texas. POB 8306. Houston, Texas 77288. 713-942-8146. 888-653-6498. ACLU@aclutx.org. aclutx.org. Facebook.com/ACLU of Texas. Twitter.com/ACLUTX. American Civil Liberties Union, Missouri. 406 West 34th Street No. 420. Kansas City, Missouri 64111. 314-652-3111. jmitman@aclu-mo.org. aclu-mo.org. Facebook.com/ACLUMO. Twitter.com/ACLU_MO. Defense and expansion of constitutional rights and civil liberties through litigation, legislation, and public education. American Civil Liberties Union of Illinois. 150 N. Michigan Avenue, number 600. Chicago, Illinois 60601. 312-201-9740. ACLU of Illinois at aclu-il.org. aclu-il.org. Twitter.com/ACLUOphil. Facebook.com/ACLU of Illinois. Impact litigation protecting civil rights. Does not accept walk-ins or appointments. American Civil Liberties Union of West Virginia. POB 3952. Charleston, West Virginia 25339. 304-345-9246. Mail at acluwv.org. acluwv.org. Facebook.com/ACLUWV. Twitter.com/ACLU_WV. Civil Rights Advocacy and Litigation. American Civil Liberties Union of South Carolina. ACLU. POG 20998. Charleston, South Carolina 29413. 843-720-1423. Info at aclusc.org. aclusc.org. Facebook.com/sc.aclu. Twitter.com/ACLU_SC. American Civil Liberties Union of Alaska. 1057 W. Fireweed Lane, number 207. Anchorage, Alaska 99503. 907-258-0044. Info at acluak.org. acluak.org. Facebook.com/ACLU of Alaska. Twitter.com/ACLU of Alaska. Litigates constitutional rights and civil liberty cases. American Civil Liberties Union. 701E. Franklin Street, number 1412. Richmond, Virginia 23219. 804-644-8022. ACLUVA@acluva.org. acluva.org. Twitter.com/ACLUVA. Facebook.com/ACLU of Virginia. Promotes civil rights and civil liberties through litigation, public education, lobbying and grassroots organizing. American Civil Liberties Union of Ohio. 4506 Chester Avenue. Cleveland, Ohio 44103. 614-586-1958. Contact at acluohio.org. acluohio.org. Twitter.com/ACLUOhio. Provides community speakers, rights training, and educational materials. Limited legal assistance. American Civil Liberties Union. 325 West Main Street number 2210. Louisville, Kentucky 40202. 502-581-1181. Info at aclu-ky.org. aclu-ky.org. Facebook.com/ACLU of KY. Twitter.com/ACLU of KY. Advocate and litigate Bill of Rights and other constitutional issues. American Civil Liberties Union of Michigan. 2966 Woodward Avenue, Detroit, Michigan 48201. 313-578-6800. Fax, 313-578-6811. ACLU@aclumh.org. aclumh.org. Protects civil rights through litigation and education. American Civil Liberties Union Western PA Office. POG 23058. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania 15222. 412-681-7736. 877-744-2258. pghinfo@aclupa.org. aclupa.org. American Civil Liberties Union. LGBT Rights. 125 Broad Street, 18th floor. NYC 10004. 212-549-2500. aclu.org/lgbt-rights. facebook.com/aclu. twitter.com/aclu. American Civil Liberties Union of Indiana. 1031 E. Washington Street, Indianapolis, Indiana 46202. 317-635-4059. info@aclu-in.org. aclu-in.org. twitter.com/aclu-indiana. facebook.com/aclu.indiana. Litigates civil liberties cases. American Civil Liberties Union Eastern PA Office. POB 60173. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania 19102. 215-592-1513. 877-745-2258. info@aclupa.org. aclupa.org. American Civil Liberties Union. 4343 West Flagler Street No. 400. Miami, Florida 33134. 786-363-2700. aclufl@aclufl.org. aclufl.org. twitter.com/aclufl. Litigates civil liberties cases. American Civil Liberties Union of North Carolina. POG 28004. Raleigh, North Carolina 27611. 919-834-3466. Contact at acluofnc.org. acluofnorthcarolina.org. facebook.com/aclunc. twitter.com/aclu_nc. Preserving the constitutional rights of all Americans. American Civil Liberties Union Central PA Office. POB 11761. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania 17108. 717-238-2258. 877-424-2258. hbginfo@aclupa.org. aclupa.org. facebook.com/aclupa. twitter.com/aclupa. Provides community education for 5-county area. American Civil Liberties Union. Delaware LGBT Rights. 100 W. 10th Street, number 603. Wilmington, Delaware 19801. 302-654-5326. aclu@aclu-de.org. aclu-de.org. facebook.com/aclu Delaware. twitter.com/aclu Delaware. LGBT civil rights litigation. American Civil Liberties Union. POB 32159. Newark, New Jersey 07102. 973-642-2084. info@aclu-newjersey.org. aclu-nj.org. facebook.com/aclu New Jersey. Twitter.com/ACLU New Jersey. Provides civil rights litigation. American Civil Liberties Union of Maryland. 3600 Clipper Mill Road No. 350. Baltimore, Maryland 21211. 443-524-2558. ACLU at aclu-md.org. aclu-md.org. Facebook.com/ACLUMD. Twitter.com/ACLU_MD. Litigates civil right violations. American Civil Liberties Union. epub 77208. Atlanta, Georgia 30357. 770-303-8111. Info at acluga.org. acluga.org. Facebook.com/ACLUofGA. Twitter.com/ACLUofGA. American Civil Liberties Union of New Hampshire. 18 Low Avenue, Concord, New Hampshire 03301. 603-225-3080. Karen at aclu-nh.org. aclu-nh.org. Facebook.com/ACLU of New Hampshire. Twitter.com/ACLU_NH. Specializes in constitutional law. American Civil Liberties Union. 128 Dorrance Street No. 400. Providence, Rhode Island 02903. 401-831-7171. Info at riaclu.org. riaclu.org. Facebook.com/riaclu. Twitter.com/riaclu. American Civil Liberties Union of Vermont. epub 277. Montpelier, Vermont 05601. 802-223-6304. Info at acluvt.org. acluvt.org. Facebook.com/aclu.vermont. Twitter.com/aclu_VT. Protecting Vermonters' Civil Liberties. American Civil Liberties Union of Massachusetts. 211 Congress Street, 3rd floor. Boston, Massachusetts 02110. 617-482-3170. Info at aclum.org. aclum.org. Twitter.com/ACLU_Mass. Facebook.com/ACLU Mass. Litigates civil liberties cases. American Civil Liberties Union of Maine. epub 7860. Portland, Maine 04112. 207-774-5444. Info at aclumaine.org. aclumaine.org. Facebook.com/ACLUmaine. Twitter.com/ACLUmaine. Works on civil rights discrimination cases.